Hi guys. Sorry, I fell asleep halfway through filming. No, I didn't really, but I am really tired. So I thought I'd do, I had to do a video because I'd done a video previously and then I lost it along with my full coverage and I got really angry, so I've decided just to refilm all these videos again. So the video that I'm going to do for you today is the tutorial that I'm going to do for you today is a Bourjois Healthy, it's a tutorial using Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation. And it is for people with dry patches on their skin or with dry skin. So I at the moment am using the ofcourse Duo by La Roche-Posay to combat some really bad blemished areas on my face. One of them being around my mouth, around here and around here. Now this cream is fantastic at getting rid of blemishes. It's brilliant if you have acne, but it can leave patches of dryness on your skin. But then I also have oily skin, so I'm kind of trying to combat that at the same time. I do find that the cream is actually kind of reducing the oils that I'm producing, but nevertheless it still can be an issue or throughout the day. So I was kind of mindful of both of these things, because you can have very dry skin and have oily skin as well, and you can have very dry patches. You can have very oily skin but still have some dry patches, and you can really see the foundation when it builds up on the dry skin, so that's not good. So this is the best one that I found, so check it out. Here goes. Oh, and I thought I'd chuck in as well a slightly kind of smoky eye, a basic smoky eye tutorial in there somewhere, so yeah, check that out as well. Okay, so my skin is a little bit wet and damp from all my products, so because my skin is quite dry at the moment, or has dry patches, and I must say a lot of these dry patches are because of this ofcourse Duo, but it's not a bad thing because it means that a lot of the blemishes that I was getting are starting to disappear, so it's really working. But I have some patches, so I've been kind of locally moisturising there, and then I've done my eye cream and all that, so that's why my face is a bit damp. First of all, I'm going to go in with my primer, and the primer that I'm going to use is the Benefit Professional. Benefit have just brought out a new one called, is it like Hello Flawless, or, well, the Hello Flawless Foundation Oxygen, is it Oxy Foundation? I can't remember, is really meant to be amazing. But they brought out a primer to go with it, called Hello Flawless something primer, or, can't remember what it's called, but it's a new primer. But anyway, it's like a stick format primer, and it's very similar in its texture to the Professional. It's not pore minimizing though, is the only thing, but I've heard that it helps your foundation stay for for an age, so it's definitely worth getting if you have issues with foundation that might be moving. But for now, I use this on myself. I don't use this on other people, but I always use this on myself because it's just really, I like the matte feeling that it gives you. It's just nice. You can hear it. It sounds like sand. Anyway, what am I talking about? I'm really tired. That's why I'm probably talking a load of rubbish today. I'm really tired. So first of all, I'm going to go in with, actually no, I was going to go in with a concealer. I was going to go in with the Pro Longwear, but I actually don't think that I need too much concealing at the moment, so I'm just going to go in with my foundation. And the foundation that I'm going to use is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation. Now, some of you might remember the Pro Longwear, Pro Lumiere, sorry, some of you might remember the Pro Lumiere foundation that Chanel brought out a long while ago and then got discontinued. And Chanel, Bourjois actually owns Chanel, so a lot of the products are very similar, particularly the foundations. So there's the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation and then the serum. The serum is a much more kind of lightweight foundation. This one is the foundation, and it's a lot more, slightly thicker. It's very hydrating, and it's absolutely complete 100% dupe for the Pro Lumiere. So if you like that and miss it because it's gone, then definitely invest in this, or any of the foundations by Chanel are very similar to the Bourjois ones, so they're definitely good to check out. And also in terms of skin tone, I've got quite like, although it looks a bit pinky now, I have quite yellow undertones, so this is really good for that, because unlike the Revlon Colour Stay, they all have really pink undertones, so that really frustrates me. The one thing about this, and this is one big thing with foundation if you have dry skin, is that when you have really dry skin, what will happen is your your skin, the patches where your skin is dry, will absorb the foundation or absorb the moisture and leave this kind of patchy kind of colour area where the residue or the pigment of the foundation is gone, and it looks really horrible and really unsightly. So make sure you really moisturise your face. If I recommend to anyone go and get a hydrating facial from the beautician. That will help your skin loads, absolutely loads. But this is the only one that I know doesn't really, sorry, I've got like, keep touching my face, I've got an itch. This is the only one that I know doesn't kind of absorb so much as the others, so definitely try it. So first of all, I'm going to take, I've still got a little bit in my tester pot when I travel. I take it around and everything. And I'm just going to use the, actually no, I'm going to use the buffing brush by Real Techniques. And I'm just going to go straight in. I don't know what's going on with the lighting today. I don't know if is that a bit bright, is that better? It's probably a bit too bright. Can't really see the colour that well. And I'm just going to go in and just buff this into the skin. Since using the ofcourse Duo, my skin has been so much better. But it does dry your skin out slightly, but gets rid of all blemishes. And I've also been using the, the Garnier Ultra Lift eye cream. And I've actually been using this at other points on my face as well, where I get melia. Because the pro-retinol in that helps the little melia, like tiny white spots underneath the skin. It helps get rid of that. So it's been helping so much. And I'm going to do a review on that at some point. So I'm just going to buff this into the skin. You can also use a beauty blender, which is something else I love using. There's only some foundations I use a beauty blender with. And that one is the True Match Foundation by L'Oreal. And sometimes this one. And what was the other one? And I sometimes use it with the Studio Fix Fluid as well, MAC Studio Fix Fluid, because it does give it, this gives a real airbrush finish to this brush, but the kind of Beauty Blender does the same thing. It's just not so hygienic, especially if you're a makeup artist working on other people. You're constantly having to wash them and disinfect them. I always do my lips as well, and so it's just not as hygienic. Which is a shame, really, because the disposable sponges are not the same either. They don't give the same effect. I'm just rambling. I'm rambling. You're just listening to me talking rubbish. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so just checking in the mirror now that there's any spots that I left out. But it all looks fine and dandy. So that is my kind of foundation that I would choose to use on very dry skin. I look really pale. I think it's the... Honestly, it really is the lighting. I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to let that kind of sink in for a bit, and then I'm going to do a quick kind of eye. And the eye makeup that I'm going to use today is, I'm not really doing much today, so I'm just going to do a very basic eye, and it's just going to be a basic kind of brown. But first of all, I'm going to use my Colour Tattoo by Maybelline. This is very similar to the MAC paint pots that you can get. It's just a really good primer. And I'm going to brush this all over the socket of the eye. This is really good if you've got oily eyelids, like me. I have very oily eyelids. Doesn't have to be too neat, because you're going to go over this. I should probably bring you a bit closer. Okay, so there we go. So just paint that all over. Fantastic. I might just do one eye actually, and then do the other eye, and then come back to my face. So I'm going to take my, where is it? I've lost my brushes. I'm going to take my MAC 217, and I'm going to take this colour here. It's called Embark by MAC. And I'm going to just put that all over the lid. And the nice thing about this is you can just do it. Sometimes a very basic, I need to use this mirror down here. Sometimes a very basic brown eye can be the most effective look. It can just look so beautiful. You don't need to do loads of shading and all that kind of faff just to get a nice eye. So I'm not going to go right into the socket. I'm literally just going to go just here on the lid. I might go into the socket a tiny bit, but not much. So a little bit of that kind of glitter is showing through from the colour tattoo. And that's kind of a nice effect. So I'm now going to start filling in the socket slightly, but not too much. There we go. Okay, I've opened the curtain slightly so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing. Okay, so just take that slightly underneath the socket. You don't want it to be too neat because you're going to blend it out. And then I'm going to take my Black Track by MAC. This is just a fluid line. And I'm going to take a very tiny little brush. This is a fantastic brush, it's by Fash. And it's really good for lining the lid. Do you know what? I can't see in that mirror, so I'm just going to use this one down here. And just go kind of, you don't have to create a flick if you don't want to, but I like to. And you can see this lower lash line here. You want to go where that lower lash line is and follow it up. Because otherwise, if you just go kind of like this, you can find that sometimes as your eye relaxes, the liner goes down. So you need to take it quite high. It looks a bit strange, but it will, once your eyes relax, it'll you'll see what I mean. I'm going to take it quite high. For some reason, my fluid line is drying up, which is unlikely. It's not something that normally happens. It's normally really good, but... Okay, so there we go. See, now when I relax the eye, it looks like a flick. So it looks really high, relax the eye. It all depends on how your eye shape is. I've got quite a kind of hooded eye there. It's a family thing that we have. And I just have to, you just kind of have to work with the shape of your eye. So then just go all around the front. Right into that corner. There we go. I keep going to do the other eye as habit, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just leave it at that. Okay, I am going to take a tiny bit of MAC Black Tide, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit and just run it through that crease there, just to smoke it out a bit. Just underneath that socket. There we go. And then I'm going to take this fluffy brush. This is just by, I think it's by Barry M. Yeah, it's by Barry M. Just a cheap fluffy brush, and just kind of use that to, there we go. Ta-da! We're not finished yet because we've got the under eye as well. So I'm going to take my, where is it? This is just a flat-ended brush, as you can see. And I'm going to go back in again with the Embark and just go underneath here. And then a little bit with Black Tide. Just to kind of, and then just blend that out. It just adds a little bit of something to the lower lash line, but nothing too heavy. And then I'm just going to go in with my eyeliner, and this is Rimmel Scanzal Eyes waterproof eyeliner. And the Rimmel ones I believe to be, I think they're the best ones, and they're the most affordable, so everyone can use them, and they stay put all day long. Okay, that's that. And then I'm going to take my Maybelline Rocket Mascara. Again, these I think are the best mascaras, I just love them. And I'm just going to wiggle if when you put mascara on you wiggle from the root, it will curl it slightly. But I can't curl my eyelashes, even though I should. They're very, very short. And I should really curl them, but I don't bother because I'm lazy. And also, I'll do it on other people, but again, on myself, I just think, well, I'm not going out anywhere special today. So, I'll do the lower lash as well. I actually think lower lashes are almost just as important. Some people don't do them, but I think they're just as important as the other upper lashes. Okay, so I've done my eyes, my other eye. So this wasn't supposed to be like an eye makeup tutorial either, but it has turned into that. So it's just a sort of simple smoky eye, which is quite good for kind of an everyday look. And also this is quite good if you have really really oily eyelids as opposed to dry skin, which is what I'm doing today. Because this is quite a good look that you can use on top of one of the paint pots or the colour tattoos by Maybelline, which will just help your eyeshadow stay. So that's really good. Okay, so I've just done my eyebrows as well, and they look a bit epic, to be honest. I really don't. I can't stand the scouse brow, but I seem to have a scouse brow, which isn't good, but I'm too tired. I'm just tired today. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, what me. Anyway, so powder. What I'm going to do now is, I've done my foundation, and then I did my eyes, and then just let the powder set. Slightly. It's still, it's a very dewy foundation. It does give you a very healthy glow, as it is healthy mix, and it does give you that kind of hydrated, kind of sun-kissed kind of glow, dewy glow. So it's never going to kind of dry fully, which is fine because you've just got to be careful with your application of your powder, because what you don't want to do is disturb you don't want to get your brush and then start sweeping over with the powder, because what I see is a lot of people put on their foundation and then they go in with the powder and they start like doing the and they're just totally disturbing their foundation, and then they've got little clumps. So yeah, you don't want to do that. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my a teeny tiny little brush like this. It's very, very small, because I'm just going to literally just set the areas of my face which are particularly like prone to oil. Now when you've got really dry skin, you can produce more oil because your skin is compensating for that, but you will still have dry patches. So you want to be able to set in those places, which is why this foundation is really good, because it will disguise the dry skin, but you can set it enough so that it doesn't feel too oily as well. So I'm going to use the MAC, it's all a bit dusty, this one, MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is in Natural. I'm going to take a bit of this powder, just tap off the excess with the brush, and I'm just going to go in and powder the oily parts of my face. So this is where I'm particularly oily. Doesn't seem like I'm putting much on, and that is a good thing. You don't want for this look to look too matte. I've not gone in with any highlighter or any concealer today. I've left it really, really simple. This is a really simple look. And the chin, this is where I get really oily. So here's where my dry patch is. And I'm just going to go over it lightly, not too much. You don't want to put too much powder on the dry. Okay, and once you've done that, I don't know why, these are really good. They're baked and they're really, really good. It's keeping together, but for some reason it's kind of got dust everywhere. So I'm just, now that I've powdered it, you can go over with the brush. Okay. My powders are sort of loosening up. It's not good. Right, so next I'm going to take this is a MAC 129, and I'm going to take the same Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, but in medium dark, and I'm just going to use this as a bronze just along the forehead and along the cheeks, like a blusher and a contour. I'm not going to go in with a matte bronzer. I sometimes use either Benefit Hoola or the bronzer in the Sleek Face Form palette, which is a really nice matte bronzer, but I'm just going to use this as my contour at the moment. There we go. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with my blush brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going to use a blush in the colour Pixie Pink by Sleek, and I'm just going to lightly stipple this onto the face. I love this brush because you can be as heavy or as light as you want with it. There we go. There we go. And then just dust off any excess. So now you've got like a kind of, I'm not going to highlight either because that will just make the face look even more, it can make faces look more dewy or oily, and I don't want that look at the moment, because when you're trying to combat dry skin and you put kind of a moist foundation on top, you then got to combat and juggle with the fact that does it look oily, am I going to then produce oils, because even though I have dry skin, like I said, I have oily skin. So, or dry patches, I have oily skin, so I've got to be mindful of that. So I've just left it as it is now, just with a basic powder and a blush and the foundation, and that's it. I don't want to put too much product on the face. So this is the look, and it's really simple, just for every day. The eyes are just, I didn't mean to do an eye tutorial, but I did. Just a simple kind of smoky eye for every day. Again, like I said, the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation is an affordable, brilliant foundation to use if you have dry skin. Or even if you have oily skin, just make sure you prime the face with a mattifying primer beforehand to help it stay. But I haven't used anything else, that's all I've used, and I think it's pretty good. It's got really good coverage, as you can see, and I haven't had to highlight my eyes, even though I have tired bags. I'd probably look the same if I highlighted it anyway, so they are that bad because I am that tired. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a very basic one, but yeah, just and remember to check out my blog. The link is in the description bar. It's very, very new, and there's only a couple of posts, but I'm going to be posting every week or every couple of times a week, so just please be mindful of that. If there's anything you want to see, want me to review, want me to do, let me know. Anything else, check out my Facebook, check out my Instagram, which there's looks all the time. Check out my, what else? Check out my Twitter, even though I don't know what to do with it. I'm really new on Twitter, I don't know how to use it. So check it all out, please check it all out. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.